This guy from ancient that made the Ancient Aliens, Eric von Daniken. He made this book that took over a lot of people's imaginations and helped a lot of imagination. You know how mankind, I was talking about, we always, how I feel, we always just in this one thing together, no matter what anybody has to say, no matter what anybody has to say. But I found it fascinating that the guy who wrote the Chariots of the God book, that he wrote other books before this. He was trying to be a famous author or well published author, make some money off his books, but they was not selling at all. Nobody wanted to buy them and publish them for him and put them out there. So what happened eventually was a Nazi, somebody that was literally, because this was back in the 70s and stuff. So this was still close to when World War II was occurring. So a literal formal Nazi. And this guy, Eric Von Dyke, remember, he's not American. So we just got to give him that too. He's not American. But the book was edited by this Nazi guy. And he did heavy edits to what Eric Von Dyke wrote. And this was just another heavy edit, his interpretation of what another guy wrote, of his interpretations of what he wrote, um of his transcriptions of a clay stone tablets that were found in Samaria and stuff like that. And then Eric Von Dingen enriched the story and put it together in a certain way. And now I learned that this Nazi then heavily edited the Chariots of the Gods book that was shouted out in every single Ancient Aliens show. He heavily edited and had his put into the book. Let's hear what this guy had to say.
Written by this man and edited by a Nazi propaganda writer. And before you start typing your angry comment, make it to the end of the video, and if you still feel like you want to yell at me,
yeah, we get this.
Popularized ancient alien theory on this app that do a way better job of his youth. Eric Von Daniken was an aspiring written from or a
Wait, I'm gonna get his name
as a source, and by his own personal trips to these locations, Von Daniken was inspired to write Chariots of the Gods, in which he asserts that basically got a lucky break. Inspired by other people's writing, which he never really seems to cite as a source, and by his own personal trips to these locations, Von Daniken was inspired to write Chariots of the Gods, in which he asserts that basically every non-European cool thing was made by aliens. We're talking the pyramids, the Nazca lines, any cool thing that has existed really that was not made in Europe. And clearly that's problematic for a lot of reasons, and again, there are creators on this app that will do a way better job of getting into that part of this story, but what I wanted to point out is that his manuscript for this book was so poorly received. Wilhelm Untermann had a previous job writing, and his job was to write Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, that's what it was. He specifically wrote Nazi propaganda, which was like to use to change the mind of the people to support the war. They was learning how media works at the time, and now people don't use the word propaganda anymore.
After reading Chariot of the Gods, Carl Sagan said that he wished the book would become very popular in high school logic classes as an example of sloppy thinking. And he was partially right. It did become very popular, but for all of the wrong reasons. History Channel had to fill the void between Pawn Stars and World War II documentaries.
Yeah, I get that part. But let's see if I can find some more site sources on that. Hold on. Alright, based on the results, there's indeed a connection. William Ottoman played a significant role in the creation of Chariots of the God. Ottoman was a former editor of the Nazi Party's Volksblatt and had been a Nazi best-selling author. He essentially rewrote and edited the used the synonym William Raffegard for his work. The Nazi Ani Narbi So who's to say what was those Nazis into? I don't support Nazis. Don't say we doing that on this channel at all. We are not supporting Nazis. No. I'm just thinking about how people think about things and how it gets out there. Former Nazis repackaged these ideas, replacing ancient Aryans with ancient aliens. Oh, saying it was the Aryans that came. Because remember, they were saying the blue eyed people, and they was like the master race and stuff like that. So they trying to say it was the ancient Aryans that built it, but then they turned it to ancient aliens, not the black people, not the people of the land of wherever they found it in. It was the alien. Was one who escaped justice and continued working under names. Okay, that's hilarious, and I bet a lot of people don't know that. Put that on my mama. Let me push this over. What was this one on? Oh yeah, this definitely goes with it.